Think you're safe because your doors are locked? Think again. Tonight we dive into 5 cases where the horror wasn't a ghost or a legend, but a living, breathing reality. It left investigators and medical professionals scarred for life. From the man who rotted alive for 83 days to a bride whose stomach was packed with heavy metal. These are 5 of the scariest true horror stories that actually happened. Stick around for story number 1, the details of what the lead surgeon found during the Gulf Coast autopsy. It will make you never want to touch the ocean again. In September 1999, Hisashi Ouchi was a technician at a nuclear fuel plant in Japan. A simple mistake led to a massive burst of radiation that hit Ouchi directly. At first, he looked fine. He even joked with doctors that he was being treated like a guinea pig. But within days, his DNA began to disintegrate. His skin began to slide off his body in sheets. His body was no longer a vessel for life. It was a leaking, raw mass of tissue. Despite Ouchi's heart failing multiple times, his family insisted he be revived. He was kept alive for 83 agonizing days while his internal organs melted. In his final conscious moments, he was communicating only through small nods, trapped in a body that was quite literally falling apart while he was still inside it. John Jones was an experienced caver and a young father. In 2009, while exploring the Nutty Putty Cave in Utah, he mistakenly crawled into a 10 by minus 18-inch crevice. He realized his mistake too late. He was stuck head first, upside down, in a vertical chute. Rescuers spent 27 hours trying to pull him out, but the angle of the cave meant that every time they moved him, his body wedged tighter against the stone. John spent his final hours hanging upside down while blood pooled in his brain, listening to his wife's voice over a radio. He eventually passed away from cardiac arrest. The cave was sealed with his body still inside, turning the narrow crevice into his permanent stone coffin. In the early 1900s, Marrakech was gripped by the disappearances of dozens of women. The trail eventually led to a local cobbler named Mesfui. When police raided his shop, they discovered the remains of 36 mutilated corpses, buried beneath the floorboards. The public's fury was so great that they demanded a punishment more horrific than death. Mesfui was led through the streets in chains and taken to a public square. There, workers began to build a brick wall around him while he was still standing. The crowd cheered as the last brick was slid into place, sealing him in total darkness. Mesfui screamed behind the bricks for 2 days straight before the silence finally took over. In 2022, Hannah Petty arrived at an Alabama hospital with symptoms no doctor could explain. She was slipping in and out of a medical coma. When neurologists finally ran an X-ray, they were stunned. Hannah's body was packed with lead. Her colon was 100% full of lead shavings. There was literally no room in her stomach for food. The poison had seeped into her bones and organs. Investigators eventually discovered that lead sheets were being scraped into tiny shavings and fed to her intentionally. The lead levels in her blood were described as astronomical, a medical anomaly that should have been physically impossible to survive. In August 2024, Michael Funk was cleaning his crab pots in the Gulf Coast. He didn't even feel the cut a tiny nick on his calf from a rusted wire, no larger than a grain of rice. Within hours, his skin began to throb. By morning, giant dark blue blisters the size of golf balls erupted across his leg. They were tight, translucent, and filled with a murky, blood-stained fluid. The doctors identified it as Vibrio vulnificus, a flesh-eating bacteria that enters through open wounds. Michael was awake as surgeons used scalpels to cut away his blackened, dead tissue. But the decay moved faster than the knife. Every 20 seconds, a new patch of skin would turn ashy gray and then pitch black. In his final moments, Michael looked at his remaining hand and whispered, "I can still feel it. It's still hungry." During the autopsy, they found the bacteria had etched microscopic geometric patterns into his bones, marking him even in death. Michael Funk died just 96 hours after a simple trip to the pier. If you have a small cut and you're planning a trip to the beach, think twice. Because story number 6 involves a smart home system that started recording voices in an empty house. And it proves that sometimes the most horrific things are the ones you let inside your home. Click here to see the doorbell footage we weren't allowed to show on TikTok.